If you're planning on getting into Brazil before getting your electronics, don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It is your girl Mills and I'm back with another video. As you can see from the title, today I'm going to be talking about buying and fixing electronics in Brazil. Electronics is one of the very most important things that you need to consider when coming into Brazil. When I talk about electronics, I'm talking about smartphones and laptops because those are the two most important things that you need for communication, work, and all of that. I'm just going to touch one or two things and give you one or two tips here and there and things you should do or you should not do. When we talk about electronics, especially smartphones and laptops in Brazil are very, very expensive. So if you're coming in to Brazil for long term, you want to pay attention to your phones or your gadgets or your electronics that you bring inside. Before you come in, make sure you buy your smartphone and make sure you buy your laptop. That's the first step. The next thing I want to talk about, when you are coming in, is very, very important to know the type of phones you're coming in with. Because in Brazil, they use popular models. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I'm saying this. Second thing I want you to consider is that when you're coming in with your electronics, make sure they are intact. If it has any problem, make sure you fix it before coming. The reason why I'm saying this is because when you're using a phone or an electronic for a long period of time, things will always happen. Maybe it might get broken at one point and you need it to be fixed. So it's very important to know the models of electronics that are being used in Brazil. In Brazil, they use popular models. Let me just name a few. When it comes to smartphones, you mostly see Samsung, Apple, LG, Motorola, just to name a few. For their laptops, you mostly see MacBook, HP, Dell, Chromebook, and so on. It is very important for you to buy your electronics under this model because if at one point it gets broken, you need to repair it. And this takes me to the next point I want to say. Repairing a phone in Brazil is the worst. Most people prefer to get a new phone or get a new laptop than to repair this electronics. It is expensive. The older the electronic becomes, the more expensive it is to fix it. Once the phone is getting old, the parts of the phones are difficult to get. If you're in cities like Sao Paulo, Brasilia, Rio, I think it's easy to get some parts of the phones. Florianopolis, I wanted to fix my phone. I think that was a Note 8 and they told me that it's going to be very expensive because Note 8 was a long time ago. So to get the screen of the Note 8 is really difficult. Secondly, if it's not among their popular models in Brazil, forget about it. Like for example, if you're coming with an African model like Tecno phone, you know that there is no Tecno phone in Brazil. So if your phone gets bad, know that that's the end of it. If you're coming from Asia, maybe you're coming with Vivo or Oppo, just know that when you come in here and it gets broken, that is it. There is nothing to debate about that. So if anything happens to your phone, just save money to get a new one. And there's one thing about me, when it comes to electronics, I hate to fix them, especially mobile phones. When you start fixing the mobile phone, if it's a screen, after the screen is being fixed, the next thing is going to be the touch screen, the next thing is going to be one button, and the next thing is going to from one problem to the other, especially if it is not fixed from the same company that produced the phone. You know what I mean? Like for example, if I have a Samsung phone and it's broken, I would prefer to find a Samsung office to fix it. And even if I have to fix it at a Samsung office, majority of the times it's not going to be 100% guaranteed. So in Brazil, most people just go in for a new one, the old one. People cannot afford to fix their phones. You can buy used phones. And if you're buying a used phone, you should know, especially if you're buying them online. You just want to get a very cheap phone just to keep yourself going while you get a real one. You can try Facebook Marketplace. There are people up to sell their phones. Maybe people have emergencies or urgent financial situations that they will need to sell out their phones or that same model. For example, if you're looking for a screen of your phone, you can go to Marketplace and get another phone which has a good screen but other parts are working, and you just fix it. I'll never advise somebody to go in for a second-hand phone. Most of the times I'm like, if I'm selling my stuff, that has a problem, and you ask the person like 20 million times, does it have any problem? No, it's fine, it's working well, everything is working. And when you get it after 2-3 days, bam, everything goes off. I remember a Surface Pro I saw online. I saw it from Marketplace. I wanted to buy the Surface Pro for my son. And when I asked the person, does it have any problem? The person said no. Does it have the flicking screen? The person said no, it doesn't have any flicking screen. I said, because I also have a Surface Pro. I just saw this one and it's really cheap. The price is cheap. That is so good to be true. And the person said, no, it doesn't have any problem. And I knew that, okay, for my son, watching his YouTube videos and, doing his writing in his Word document, right? I bought that Microsoft Pro, and after, I think, the first day, everything went well. The next day, I wanted to put it on. After 2 minutes, the flicking screen started. Flicking screen. It will flick and then stop. Next 2 days, I wanted to turn it on. That was it. It never came on. And that's it. That's how it ended. In Brazil as well, to fix the laptop is another thing. Majority of the times when you go with your laptop, there are some parts that they'll be like, oh, this part is going to be difficult for me to get, and this part is going to be difficult for me to get, and it's better to go to the office. For example, if I'm using an HP laptop, I prefer to go to an HP laptop office to repair my laptop. And this goes to the next point. If any of the parts of your phone or laptop is broken and you want to buy it from outside Brazil, that is even the worst. You don't want to import things. Like I said, if you're coming to Brazil, look for the essential and important things that you'll be using and you pack them all with you. It's better to pay for extra luggage than to get in here and import things. Why? Brazil is large. They have their own goods. They prefer that you consume their domestic goods, right? Brazil is one of the countries that discourages imported goods, especially electronics. If you're coming in with electronics, be it a screen of a phone, whatever thing you want to buy, battery, charger, oh my god, the custom tax is going to be high and you wouldn't dodge it. I was to receive a phone, right? And that phone came in and I was supposed to pay custom tax of 2,000 real just to get that phone. That's money that you can use in other places to get a new phone. There's some different models of phones that are being produced in Brazil that are cheap, right? But they're not that cheap. At the end of the day, the advice I'm going to give you is, if you're coming into Brazil, make sure you get your electronics and make sure electronics are on point. Everything's been fixed, except you want to buy the phones that are being produced here in Brazil. And if you want to buy them, it's still expensive as compared to buying it from outside of Brazil. If you find this video interesting, make sure you leave a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and you hit the notification bell so that you get updated every time I upload a new video in that same light. Ciao!